So this is where we kind of chat before the stream starts, before people get on. Hi everyone, welcome to Leap Motion's Twitch channel.
Welcome.
And I'm Anthony. You've seen me on the channel before. I am part of developer programs. So one of the things that I currently own is this, Twitch. You might see me in the forums asking about what your suggestions of what can we stream or things that we're doing in the future. Always looking for more feedback. So I guess you're probably wondering who this guy is because he's new to the Twitch channel. So hello.
Hi. How's it going?
It's good. So everyone, this is Martin. Martin, tell us what you do at Leap.
Hey everyone. My name is Martin. I am also on the developer relations team now. I started last week, so new hire, new face.
Correct. That's all true. All true.
All true. And I guess my thing that you might know me for is I made Weightless, which was...
Oh yeah, wasn't that in our something?
It was in the 3D Jam last year, yeah.
Didn't you win I don't know, some place of some sort?
Yeah, second of the places, yeah. I won second of the places, yeah. So hopefully some of you guys have tried Weightless.
It's in
the developer gallery, as are a lot of other awesome VR experiences that you guys should try. And yeah, hoping to make some more experiences for you guys shortly.
So Martin, a little more spotlight on you. So coming to Leap and doing stuff, you initially didn't know how to program, right?
That is true, and I'm still, I would say, a beginner at programming. So if you watch this channel or in general are interested in Leap Motion and don't have a coding background, or you are still very new and just generally like the idea of interacting with your hands with content on your computer or VR, that's where I was about a year and a half ago. I didn't know anything about Unity or Unreal or game development, and basically just picked it up by watching YouTube tutorials and trying and failing. So if it's something that you're interested in, I definitely recommend that you just download Unity, download some tutorials and get started, because you got to make some stuff. I made a lot of other stuff before I made Weightless, and see where it takes you.
So dreams do happen. Is that the end of this moral of the story?
Definitely, yeah. This is my dream, sitting here with you, Anthony. So thank you for making my dreams come true.
So happy to have Martin on the team. Again, we're always hiring. Please look at careers@leapmotion.com. So we're also here to talk about kind of a lot of the VR landscape. A lot of what you've seen in the stream is us basically going through kind of a UX UI of building in applications. This is probably the first time that you've seen us actually showcasing something else. Today we're going to be showcasing the Gloveone.
Ooh,
so this is the case it comes in. And then I believe Kate's going to put that in the hip channel playing. Uh-oh. Sorry. Energy saving. Let's make sure. So basically, with the Gloveone, you can have haptic feedback in a normal application, correct?
Yeah. So it is a glove that provides haptic feedback on your fingers and on your palm, and lets you, when you reach into the virtual world, you'll be able to feel objects actually providing feedback to your hands. So the sense of touch is something that I think is going to be really, really interesting once it gets up to the level of the visuals, because the visuals is sort of the first entry point, but getting all the other senses involved, I think, is going to be, that's where it's going to start getting really crazy.
So, Martin, if you want to push that in.
There we go.
Sorry, we lost the camera a little bit, but now I get it back. Wires. So, with the Gloveone, it's kind of an interesting use case, because how would you use it in an application, say Unity, for example? And maybe with Weightless as an example, where would you want haptic feedback?
Yeah, so with Weightless, one of the things that was really interesting was that you couldn't really when you touch objects in VR or in Unity or in any sort of game environment using Leap Motion, when you touch an object, you don't have any pressure exerted back on you. So there's no in the real world when you touch something with your finger, it gives you back an equal force so that you know that it's there. But in VR right now, you just put your hand through it, and you don't have any. You can have visual feedback of a changing color or audio feedback, but there isn't that physical sensation. So with the Gloveone, it's sort of the first baby steps towards having virtual objects have properties of physical objects that you sort of expect from the real world.
And it's weird because it's like, so I go to a lot of conferences, and a lot of people ask a lot about haptic feedback and like where the state of haptics is. I think this is like a product that's actually pushing the boundaries of that. There's a couple of VR companies out there that are doing it too. And the cool thing about Gloveone is that it also enriches the VR experience, like similar to using us with like its prototype. You can actually make your Leap project actually more robust, which is really great.
Yeah, it sort of adds another layer. Like once you have hand tracking in there and you can reach out and you can interact with objects with your real hand, the fact that the objects can then sort of interact with your hand back at you is it's a sort of a two-way interaction that you can reach out and touch things and they can reach back and touch you. And not in a creepy weird way.
So the glove itself has both modes. It can be tethered and untethered. We're going to do it with the tethered mode. It does have a Bluetooth option. Unfortunately, our computer's not liking Bluetooth right now. So as you can see right here, you can see it tethered. So Martin, would you like to be your model? Put it on.
Sure.
Cool.
I will be the hand model, even though my hand will be covered by a black glove. So just throw it on here. And it's got, I don't know if you can see this really on the camera, but it's got a bunch of little actuators, I guess, vibration actuators.
About 10, I believe.
10, yeah. So on each, let me show it up to the camera here. So you've got on each, here we go, on each fingertips, on the thumb, on each of the fingertips, you've got 5 there. And then sort of on the inside of the palm here, you've got 3 there, and then two down here,
yeah,
2 down here. So it's sort of just spread all over your hand, on the inside of your hand.
So let's launch the little Gloveone manager, and then we'll show the vibrators in their best tone. So hang on one second while we show you our desktop. Let me see. Cool. And let's move us. Woo! And let's do monitor capture. And let's do this guy. Or maybe we can do window capture. Hang on. Sorry guys. Let me get this up for you. There we go.
Intricacies of streaming.
Ha! So fun. Where's my... Oh wait, I didn't touch it. There it is. Okay. So you can kind of see this. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger and move it over a tiny bit. So what we're looking at here is the Gloveone manager. So why is this important? Well, first, it'll give you tips on your status. So it shows you the battery levels, hardware, firmware versions, and things like that. What it does right here is you can see, you can measure the rotation, access to accelerated, and content status. So what's really cool about this is like, this is, you know, where you're going to get most of your data from. And then the cooler thing is when you debug, you can send pulses through the actuators to make sure it's all working. So let's do that right now. And so right now he's feeling, as he said before, 10 different types of vibrations all around his hand. And it's at the bottom of his hand. It's not at the top. And that's like a key thing too.
Yeah, so it's sort of just buzzing around every part of my hand right now. It's kind of a weird feeling. But
would you say it's a pleasant feeling?
I wouldn't say it was a pleasant feeling, just because that sounds kind of weird, but it's interesting. It's strange, because yeah, your fingertips are obviously really sensitive, and the inside of your hand is probably the most sensitive part of all of your skin, so yeah, it's a strange sensation.
Okay, so let's then stop sending pulses, and let's actually launch a module. So hang on one second, guys, while we do this. Demo. Okay, so launch demo. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is kind of a signature demo, and so it needs you to calibrate initially. So Martin is using the Leap Motion at the desktop mode.
This right here.
And he has a VR integration, but we're just doing desktop today. And as you can see, it calibrated. So now Martin's going to go through the gestures, which he can do by doing a simple pinch.
That middle finger pinch, two finger pinch, closed fist sort of pinch, maybe. Thumbs up, finger guns. We hold finger guns, we move to the next screen.
Okay, so in this screen, you have a variety of options in which you can interact with. So by simply clicking your fingers together, you can click next, previous, or see different types of things. So Martin, let's look through the options. Let's see. So we got some rain, we got fire. It's interesting.
Green marble.
Green marble, guitar.
Guitar.
Butterfly.
Butterfly.
Okay, so call to the chat if anyone's listening. What do you want us to see us to grab play with first?
Big red button. Bamboo or ammo shells.
The screen looks black.
Oh, it does?
Okay.
Oh,
So
wait. Exit.
then,
F4, yeah.
all right. So
Hang
that
on.
didn't really work.
Well, hang on. The screen, no. All right. Kate was like, what? The screen's black. All right, so we're going to do a windowed experience. That'll probably solve our problem.
Let's do that.
All right, so hang on 1 second, guys. We'll do windowed, and that'll solve it. Play, and we can see. Hang on. All right, so I'm sure you can see this now. Kate, can you correct me if I'm wrong?
Not seeing it still.
Really? Oh wait, yeah.
It's black.
Hang on. I got it.
Get rid of that window.
Yeah, just change it to this. OBS, love it. Okay.
Oh, nope, that was there.
Yeah. Properties.
Demo
This-
LM Gloveone. Yeah, that one.
This one, top one.
Let's do that.
Okay, I see
There
it.
we go. Yeah.
So, are we in the way?
I think that should be fine.
Is that good, Kate?
I see the window.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so we'll start this again. So initial calibration, placing your hands on the perfect idea right there. Ooh.
Let's calibrate this guy.
Are we running 2 demos at once?
I think we might be. I'm gonna kill this one.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on.
Yeah, it's kind of off kilter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Question from the audience: how would the yaw drift?
How's the what?
Drift.
Drift.
So,
Got it.
Anthony, yeah. Do you want to take it? Or?
No, go ahead, Martin.
So I
Let me
think,
fix
and
this.
my understanding of the Gloveone is very beginner level, but I think it is not doing 6-degree tracking by itself, if I'm right. It has an IMU for rotation, and then it's using the Leap Motion for actual position of my hand. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Okay, so I think we'll be able to check better once we get this demo up and in front of you guys. But I don't think it has any drift really, because it's using the Leap Motion for hand position. So the Leap is tracking it in space, and then it's got rotation from its IMU, and then contact points and haptic feedback from its actuators.
Okay, so as you can see, Martin's going to show again. So Martin, doing simple pinch gesture, and you can see in the camera there, and you can do a variety of different types of gestures. 2 fingers, the thumbs up, and the gun. So the gun will continue the menu. Okay, so now here's where we were before.
That's what we were describing to you without you guys seeing it.
Okay,
It's
so let's
crazy
go through the
figure.
options one more time, Martin.
So what are we going with? We're going with butterfly, big red button,
Pan pipe.
panpipes, an amp, rain. Both got that one. Campfire,
Mm-hmm.
mysterious green marble.
I think the marble is pretty mysterious.
Very mysterious.
Guitar.
Guitar, and back to butterfly.
I
So
feel like this is a weird assortment of things.
it's a strange. If I was wanted to touch virtual objects, I guess this is.
I mean, so we'll make the first choice. We'll pick the butterfly first,
Okay.
and
then
we'll see if anyone else has any strong feelings towards any of the others.
okay, I think the mystery marble is probably up there. Okay, so there's a ooh, okay, that's a strange feeling. Wait, land on my fingertip. Oh, ooh,
Whoa.
oh, that's weird.
So describe the feeling of it landing on your fingertip, Martin.
So, I think I've only ever had a butterfly land on my hand once, and I didn't
Lucky boy.
love the experience, but this is probably a really good use case for this because I imagine the weight of a butterfly is pretty small, and so the vibration on your fingertip sort of seems like an accurate way of getting that feeling across from a virtual butterfly.
Do you feel the weight of the butterfly, you'd say?
So I think it seems like there's a different intensity of the vibration that can happen. So right when it lands on my fingertip, it's sort of a little bit less strong of a vibration, and then as it sits there and flutters, it picks up vibration. So yeah, there's a range of vibration here. I wonder what happens if it tries to land on the back of my hand. Okay.
Do you feel anything?
Then I still get the vibration on the bottom of my hand, which is a little less accurate, but still
Kinda
interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
Still interesting. I wonder
Can
if
you
I
grab him?
Yeah. A little gentle pinch. Oh, hey,
Oh, part of your butterfly collection. Take it home.
and that's okay. That's actually really cool. So as it's flapping its wings, I'm getting like a pulsing buzz, as though it's actually like trying to get out of my fingers.
Really?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's really cool.
All right, release.
Okay, so let's try another experience. I'd love
I'm
to
gonna try one
Oh, you're gonna
full-handed
show me the thing?
smash and see what happens there.
You're gonna smash it?
Oh.
You're killing the butterfly?
Well, I just want to say no. Okay.
Could you
I'd say
not
they
do
didn't.
it?
They didn't. Well, I think it just flew out of my hand, but
Well, let's see if
I
you
was
can.
expecting like a very violent.
Who wants to
buzzing.
see him kill the butterfly?
Oh. Okay, I'm tethered. So no, I don't think that's. I think the gentle interaction is where it's at. Flapping.
I think you'll make certain developers really happy about
Okay,
gentle
well-
interaction. not the murder of butterflies.
I mean, you gotta test all the use cases.
Okay, so let's doing a simple click, and then there you go. So we got the button, the pan flute, I think, the speaker, the rain, and the fire. Okay, so I'm really curious about the fire a little bit,
Okay, let's go to the fire.
because I'm wondering if you're gonna feel the heat.
That sounds like it would be bad.
Move your
Okay.
hand towards it.
Move your hands towards the fire. The instructions say. Okay.
All right, so
Ooh.
these are pretty destructive tendencies,
Ooh.
like picking, like grabbing butterflies, putting hands in fire.
I mean, things that you can do in the virtual space that you shouldn't do in real life. This is really interesting, though. So there's sort of like a sphere of influence. This is
Okay.
this is, of the two that I've tried, this is my favorite one.
Okay, so he's already picked a favorite. Let's all note the fire is his favorite thing.
Okay. And then if I go in with my hand, yeah. So what's happening is it's as though there's a force field sort of around the fire, probably the heat. And when I move my hand into it, whatever part of my hand is first to cross the threshold has the strongest vibration, and it's a ramp up. So the further in, I don't know if you can sort of hear the vibration. It sort of gets crazy.
I believe that you guys have sound too. So Martin, it doesn't have sound. So I feel that would add to the experience as well.
Yeah, definitely. Having the audio feedback in concert with this and the visual feedback.
So with Unity, I mean, they're using our hand model as with the Leap Motion, so which is part of our assets. So what is the force field? Is that just like a wall? Is that like a thing something you can build in Unity, or?
Yeah, so I guess it's probably a sphere collider or some sort of trigger zone where the further you get into it, it's probably, I'm guessing, the further you get into it, it's lurping between the small vibration and full vibration in the hand. So sort of just a simple ramp up, but it's really effective at making you feel like you're putting your hand into something that's emanating heat.
Does it make you want to burn everything down?
Well, now I'm on the fragile side of this, that I'm putting my hand in the fire. Although
How far do you have to go? It looks like
now it's melting my hands. But
oh no.
yeah, that's really cool. That for vibration as the form of haptic feedback, this is a really great use case because it
And
just
I mean,
vibrates and makes you feel like it's.
And the design of this is really good too. Like you have like kind of a smoke emanating from like the fire, which gives you kind of an idea of like where it encompasses too. This is good visual feedback as well as haptic feedback.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it adds to the experience. So let's try another one.
All right. I like the finger guns is the exit. Like, I don't know why. All right. So we got Mysterious Marble.
I want to save that.
All right. Let's end on Mysterious Marble. I think that's probably a good idea. Big
right.
red button.
I picked the last one. Your turn.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go with mysterious object or whatever. Bamboo flutes, ammo shell. I don't know what it is.
It could be an ammo shell.
Okay. Enter.
Thumbs up. Slide your hand over the bamboo.
Bamboo.
It was bamboo.
Okay.
All
So
right.
slide your hand over it.
Do you feel anything?
I'm feeling something. I'm not sure what the effect.
What are you feeling?
What's?
Can you describe this feeling? Is it? I mean, don't worry. We have a mature rating.
I don't know what. I'm trying to imagine what happens in real life when if there's some bamboo in front of you and you were to do this sort of an action on it.
I mean, this is a good topic to bring up your accent, Martin. I mean, what is so you have an accent?
I do. I don't know how you're going to relate bamboo to.
I'm almost there.
Okay.
Did you grow up in a country where there was bamboo?
I think most countries have bamboo at this point. Not native. I don't think bamboo is native to the country that I grew up in. No.
All right. So the mystery continues.
To be revealed next Twitch episode.
Okay. So what is this bamboo? What's going on?
So as I'm brushing my hand over the bamboo, it's sort of, I guess the effect would be similar to what I imagine, like rubbing your finger around a wine glass or something, and sort of like it vibrates and has that, the echoey sort of friction into sound.
Oh, cool.
Type effect. And it's recreating that pretty well actually. Like this is what I imagine that would feel like, but it's a strange sort of demo. It feels like friction from running your hand across something like a plastic tube or something.
This would be good if it's like when you're like trying to touch the floor and give like a visual feedback to something.
Yeah. I could see this being used when you were. Mm-hmm. I could see this being used maybe when you're to go back to weightless for a second. I explored using your hands to sort of push off the walls to let you do movement. I feel like this sort of feedback would be great for that because it would be both that you're touching something, so confirmation that you're touching something, and then giving friction. So yeah, like that action really has feedback that makes you feel like that there's a surface here that I'm rubbing my hands across.
So kind of like even if you use glass or something like that to give you any kind of visual or haptic feedback would create a greater experience too in this.
Yeah, I mean I could see like a virtual petting simulator where this action would happen. That's sort of what I think this is a friction sort of demo.
Okay.
Which it's doing very well actually. Yeah.
All right, so let's do an exit and let's try the next one. All right, so what's next? And it's my choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so the speaker's looking pretty good. The rain is looking pretty good. The mysterious blue marble.
Got the guitar. Butterfly already did. Big red button. Got some questions coming from the Twitch stream.
Let's do the stereo.
Let's do the stereo. All right.
Okay.
Enter.
Let's do this guy.
Yeah. It's pulsing to music and vibration.
Speakers are loud.
Yeah, maybe.
We can turn the volume back up.
Okay.
Here, I'll do that. Well, so okay, now Martin, it's your turn, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do. I want to do the big red button. I don't know what that's going to be. But
Okay.
I like big red buttons. So thumbs up. Press the buttons.
Oh,
Okay.
there's two types.
There's two. So
Okay.
let's go with the blue one first.
Oh, the company name. Nice.
Okay.
Nice product feedback. Let's try the red.
And then red.
Oh, the Gloveone.
Okay.
So I feel like this is like to showcase a lot of just like orientation and like almost like good design. Seeing that the buttons have the feeling and you can use single finger strokes, so that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess this is showing sort of the general use case of a binary input. If you had like the VR widgets that we have, or sliders, or any sort of the general input of toggle on, toggle off, and how haptics could play into that. So yeah, it's
This one I think would be better in VR too.
definitely.
Because-
I think most of these would be better in VR because there's not that mismatch of my hand is here and I'm looking at a virtual hand.
Yeah.
It's I'm looking at my real hand and I'm getting the feedback and from visual and audio and all the other stuff. So.
But it's interesting that the in this one it's more practical too. Like this is very practical to have buttons and to feel that. So what does it feel compared to the vibration? Does it just feel like a click, or does it feel?
So when I push down on it, now it's still vibrating. So when my finger is down on it, they've said that it continues to vibrate. Sort of, I guess, to have the because this button looks like it pops up when I'm not touching it. So I think the idea here is that it's trying to replicate the feeling of this button pushing up on my finger, and then this button I think kind of stays depressed maybe.
I think it goes up and down. It just needs a firmer hit, like a hit. Oh, maybe not.
I don't know. This one visually, this one is a lot easier to get.
That's way more successful, I would say.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I would say so. Yeah, it's interesting for and how the haptics is making this interaction feel better, more real. Is that I have the visual feedback and the haptic feedback that I've successfully pressed the button, which definitely adds a layer to it. Yeah, pretty simple one.
Okay, so then let's try the next one. And I believe before, since we're saving the Marl for last, which may or may not be a mistake.
Better not be the most underwhelming one.
Okay, let's try rain.
Let's try rain? Okay, enter. You should just maybe not. Oh, that's even louder. Yeah, it's. I feel like if I close my eyes, that feels more like I'm in this, just because I can feel distinct raindrops. And they're not matched up exactly with but because it feels very similar to like I think for some mistakes of butterfly, this sort of the magnitude of the haptic is closer to this. If I had bone rolls closest to real life, but designed to what this can give you. That's the best way to Fire's pretty good, I would say. Holding my breath on for mystery. Fire, I think is
Hey. So, Martin, how was rain? Sorry for we don't have the headphones, as he said before. So, but thank you for chatting at us. We love that. So go ahead, Martin. What was it like to experience rain?
The rain was cool. It was a really interesting use of there are actuators placed all around your hand. It sort of pulsed randomly between all the actuators, which was a pretty realistic simulation of rain hitting your hand. And I was saying that because like the butterfly example where you have something that's really light touching your hand, it's sort of the right magnitude of a interaction to have replicated by these vibration actuators. And yeah, I think this and the butterfly and the fire are really good examples of how to use the haptic feedback that's possible with a device like this, and create something that's still compelling without having, being able to replicate a bowling ball falling onto your hand, which you probably wouldn't want to do anyway.
And I think with the too, this could also play into that weight thing again too. A simple droplet, a simple thing, it's just like feels very good, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that it's being so randomly like sorted through the sensors itself.
Yeah, I mean, when I just tried it, I closed my eyes instead of looking at the visual feedback, and it actually felt maybe more like rain was hitting my hand, just because I could, from the feeling, imagine where the raindrops were, without having this sort of slight mismatch between seeing visual raindrops that went exactly where I was feeling them. But yeah, that was cool.
Okay, so let's try the last one, and we got the green marble.
Oh,
the guitar.
The guitar.
I forgot about the guitar.
Okay.
Hopefully this one doesn't have noise.
Yeah. Maybe let's check. Check the audio.
It says play guitar. It's low.
Okay. And can they see and hear us?
Hopefully.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
All right.
Click in the app.
Okay. So what am I doing here? We're gonna.
Beautiful music.
I don't play guitar, in case you. Haptic feedback happens. What I'm feeling is that I feel like there's something here that's really convincing. Yeah.
We'll exit and talk about it.
We'll exit and talk about it. Oh, there
Okay, so in the guitar demo,
so in that guitar demo that we just did,
we saw a lot of visual feedback with the strings, and then with the strings, that potentially. Hold on, let me try this.
There's one question. Can you get a sense of where the object is in the physical world if you close your eyes? Would the guitar be exactly where you expected it to be?
yeah. So that was.
So to repeat the question.
Yes, to repeat the question.
Would the guitar be? Do we have a good sense of where the guitar was in space, and whether or not like we can see that we felt perfectly aligned with where we thought it was?
Yeah.
So, Martin.
So that's what I was just saying when I was trying the demo, was that this one and the fire demo in particular were really convincing in that they had a zone. In the fire demo it was sort of a sphere, and in this demo it was sort of a rectangle where the strings were. That when my hand passed through them, they would vibrate accurately to where in virtual space the object was, and it was really convincing because whenever my hand moved through that space, I would get the feedback. And so by doing it, brushing my hand across the guitar like that, but when closing my eyes, I could tell where in virtual space that object was. And I think definitely if this was in VR, it would be twice, 5 times as compelling because I would have both the visual feedback of something in a space and the haptic feedback of it being in the exact same space. So yeah, to answer your question, it absolutely felt like that object was occupying a space, and then my hand, when I moved through it, was interacting with it. So yeah, those demos, the ones where there's a physical space that gives haptic feedback, have been, I think, my favorite ones so far.
Wow. Okay. So, lastly,
okay,
let's try the marble.
And hopefully you guys can hear us. Oh, what's happening? Let me.
There it is.
There you go. Marble.
It's going fast.
To get a falling ball, place your hand upwards on the green spot. All right. Mysterious.
Okay, so we see the shadow that's just giving us the visual feedback.
Ooh.
And then, how does that feel? So we talked about this in the rain demo of a bowling ball dropping down in your hand.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a sense of where that is?
I have a sense of when it lands in my hand and when it leaves. I guess it oh, can I pick it up?
I think it rolls off and then it comes
okay.
back.
Oh, I missed. Okay. One more ball, please. Okay. So yeah. So when it leaves my hand and when it lands on my hand, the actuators go from their lowest setting to their highest setting. So there's sort of the ramp up as they hit my hand, and then when it's sitting in, when it's sitting in my hand, it's full vibration. So
you feel the vibrations right now.
yeah, so it's vibrating at like maximum capacity right now, as though my hand was completely in the fire, which is strange if you've just gone from that demo. And then as I throw it up, it sort of ramps to lowest and then off. And then when it lands back in my hand, it quickly ramps up to full again.
Okay.
So yeah, it's for that split second when it leaves and lands in my hand, it's convincing. But then when it sort of settles in my hand and it's just completely vibrating, I'm gonna imagine that these balls are made out of styrofoam and plastic, and then it could actually be pretty convincing. Because vibration as a substitute for weight, a little bit harder to be completely immersed by, but it's still, I mean, it compared to holding my hand out like this with a virtual ball in it and having no haptic feedback, it definitely adds a ton. So as a stepping stone, this is 10 times better than not having any feedback at all. But there's definitely some use cases that are more
and it
compelling
seems like
than
you
others.
can catch it more often than not because you have the sense of space. It goes back to the guitar thing and everything else.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, those are visual cues as well as they are like haptic or more robust haptic cues.
Oh, now I've like
And it bounced away. So the green ball, is it your new favorite?
The green ball.
It's still fire.
It was mysterious, but yeah, no, it wasn't my favorite. I'd say the fire and maybe even the guitar, for those reasons I was just talking about, of having a definite virtual space that had haptic feedback and consistently had that haptic feedback, really sold that there was something there that I was interacting with. And
Great.
definitely, yeah, trying it in VR would just up the experience.
Okay, so then let's close the demo, and then do we have any questions in the queue, Kate?
Do you feel the weight and or resistance, like resistance when you push the object? Is the blue ball feel lighter?
I couldn't really notice a difference between the different colored balls. So what I was just saying about the weight versus sort of gradients of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The gradient feeling for something landing in your hand and then coming out of your hand was a bit less convincing than some of the other ones. Like the physical sensations of fire or something else where there is a real gradient made a lot more sense for this. The weight of something, with vibrations, gets you to a point that you feel like there's something happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say it was one-to-one with having a physical ball in your hand with gravity pulling it down. Yeah.
Okay. And then, is there another question? Well, so what we've been talking about here, in case you joined us late, is the Gloveone. The Gloveone is right now in a Kickstarter, and I believe they're halfway to their goal, and they need, I think it's 10 more days that they have. So I think we put the link in the doc, and we'll do it again. Please feel free to check it out on your own. We went through the demo, and what the Gloveone offers is haptic feedback to a desktop experience with Leap Motion, but also as well as a virtual experience. And we were talking about the uses of haptics. I think in this type of like environment, especially VR, the more input and the more like things that you have, it really does make the experience much better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the things that you design for in VR, you're trying to get the user to be as immersed as possible in the environment that you're presenting. So everything from having the world feel consistent to having audio cues and visual cues for when they interact with things. And basically, normally you're just looking at the visual and audio feedback. Having this is sort of bringing a whole another sensor into it, which if you're counting the sensors, now you're at 3 out of 5, which is the majority. So definitely
majority of sensors.
The
More
majority of
sensors,
sensors. Like, just use that as a slogan.
I don't believe anyone's doing smell in VR.
Smell-o-vision, I'm for sure that's going to be the next big thing.
Futurama reference there.
But for right now, we've got this, which is actually really cool. I would say that using this just kicks it over the top from using the visual side of VR and the audio side of VR. It's not to the point where I can, pull myself up or have this huge weight pull me down, but for what it can do and designing for the strengths of this could be a really cool product to use. So.
And with that, if there's any last minute questions, ask them now, because I think that we'd be done.
Do the vibrations move at all, or do they stay in the same place? And then again, we have the question of whether the rotation comes from the Leap Motion or the Gloveone. Do you guys go over that speed?
I think we talked about the position of the hand is done through the Leap Motion, and when we pulled up the utility,
which we could do again.
Which we could do again.
And so we could show everyone who joined us a little bit late.
Mm-hmm. So in the Gloveone Manager, it shows contact points and actuators, and it also shows rotation. So I think there's an IMU, or potentially multiple IMUs, I'm not sure, in the glove, which are tracking rotation, which is being
so
right
here
with the Leap Motion.
In the Gloveone Manager, you can see right here.
Yeah.
So with that, you can see kind of like test position and a type of acceleration in different types. Hold on, gotta make this a little bit smaller so it doesn't shrink the screen. But yeah, so with this, you can kind of tell where position is and then the state. And then
and it is okay. So it is also doing acceleration. So it's going to accelerate running here. So yeah, so it's doing rotation, accelerometer. But so the Leap Motion is really doing the finger tracking, and then it's fusing all these things together, which is actually really cool because a lot of tracking going on.
And then Martin, if you want to show again where the sensors are, we'll increase that. And then so you got.
Well, actually, if you make this a little bit smaller, it's on the manager, so I can put the contacts together and you can see them highlight down there.
Okay.
So if I go thumb and forefinger, thumb and middle finger, for some reason it's not showing that one, but yeah. So the contact points are in each of the fingertips, and then there are 3 just here.
I'll make this bigger.
3 just here.
And right there, and
then 2 down here.
Cool.
And so the actuators themselves don't move around the glove, but sort of by rolling vibration through each of the actuators, when I pass my hand through, like say the guitar example, when I pass my hand through it like this, it would vibrate on each finger as it moved through that space, and so the effect is that object is there. So. Yeah, it works.
And with that, Kate, any more?
He had a couple follows, but it's fine.
Okay. So again, Gloveone, still in Kickstarter, and you guys should check it out. We put the link in the chat, and then we also have it in the newsletter from what it came out this morning. And then let's also say welcome to Martin. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks,
and
guys.
looking forward to see what you'll be building in the future. So we do Twitch every 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, we'll do another Twitch session. Please tune in and always look at the newsletter. That's where all the the Twitch
Announcements?
Thank you. I was going to say schedule, but announcements works better.
All right. Let's go with that.
And if you do have any follow-up questions, feel free to contact us at developer@leapmotion.com. And yeah, thanks for joining. Bye.
Later.